this in the past. Let me start again this evening by quoting the scripture that says that you can understand God by studying creation or the work of his hand. He said, for the invisible things of him are clearly seen. The invisible things of him are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even his eternal power and God is so that they are without excuse. Another translation says that God's eternal power and character cannot be seen. But from the beginning of creation, God has shown us what these are like by what he has made. And that is why those people do not have any excuse. That is why those people don't have any excuse. So I would like to state again that some of the language used in scriptures are based on the limitation and understanding of the people at that time. If the scripture is going to be written today, you are going to see some changes in the language used. For example, I'm sure you're going to see words like energy, frequency, and vibration. For example, love, joy, and peace make you to be at a high frequency of vibration. But anger, hatred, and fear make you to be at a low frequency of vibration. That is why as long as you're in Christ, which means you are full of love, joy, and peace, evil power cannot touch you because you are above them due to your high frequency of vibration. God has set up different systems on the earth, and this makes him not to interfere with the way the earth operates every time. Some of these systems include water cycle, carbon cycle, phosphorus cycle, nitrogen cycle. He has also put systems in our body to enable our body to function without any interference. And he has also put the same system on the earth to help human beings manifest their heart desire. And that is the focus of the session today on unveiling and leveraging the God system of manifestation. Topic today is how to plug into God's economy. How to plug into God's economy. Let me start by saying that you can't be paid by God if you are paid by the system of the world. If you want to tap into God's system of manifestation on this physical plane, you have to be on the payroll of God. You have to be on the payroll of God. How do you get into God's payroll? That's exactly the focus of our conversation tonight. If you want to tap into God's system of manifestation in this physical plane, you have to be in the payroll of God. This is because as long as the world pays you, God cannot pay you. As long as God is paying you, the world system cannot pay you. What are the prerequisites to be fulfilled in order to be put on the payroll of God? The first thing you need to do that I would like to talk about is the concept of non-duality. This is a fanciful way of saying that you are one with everyone. This concept demonstrates that you need nobody but yourself to succeed in the physical plane. Every single person that you come across is nothing more than an altered physical expression of you. And it's important, in fact, one of the reasons why we are mean to each other, as human beings is because you don't see yourself, you don't see others as a different expression of you. It's you with a different mask. Every human being you see on the earth is you with a different mask, because the same substance created all of you. You with a different mask. Another version of you with a different mask. Another version of you with a different mask. So every single person that you come across is nothing more than altered physical expression of you. Since everybody since everybody is one, is out, since everyone in this third dimensional realm is a physical expression of you, it's only right to have an understanding that nobody pay you but you. The fact that you are one with everybody is the reason why Christ said that you should treat others as you treat yourself. Have you wondered why Christ said that? Treat others as you treat yourself, because you are one with everybody. Typically, as a human being, many believe that their source of income is their job or a particular client, a particular customer. When you make human being your source, it limits the potential of what you can receive, because as human beings, they are limited, they are finite. Whenever you need help, even though God can use human, but don't see human as your source. Immediately you see human as your source, you limit yourself, because that means anything that person cannot do, it's not possible, cannot be done. Why? Because you see the person as your source. So anything the person cannot do cannot be done. Anything the person cannot do cannot be done, because it's your source. So it limits you, because human being is finite. To tap into God's economy, you must make God your source. When you make human being your source, it limits you. Choosing man as your source is a mental declaration. And the problem with this is that it always leads to physical creation. Through your belief that your income is from a human being, you have successfully limited the potential to earn. So that means you can only earn in the physical plane. You can't earn in the mental and spiritual plane. You can't earn in the mental and spiritual plane. The three planes of existence should be engaged to manifest your desired reality, physical, spiritual, and mental. The religious person pray only, and therefore using the spiritual plane. The spiritual person do visualization, thereby leaving the mental plane, thereby using only the mental plane. The logical person do physical activity, thereby using the physical plane. So you see the religious, you see the spiritual, and you see the logical. As long as you are human, your source. As long as you are human, as long as you made human your source, you will be drawing from a well that is limiting, that has limitation, and that limitation will have expression in form of scarcity. To avoid this restriction, the limitation in your source of income in life, then you must make God your source. This is so important. You must make God your source. The moment you have the ability to tap into God as your source, it impacts your means of livelihood, your job, and increase what is coming to you. You know, whenever you want to do something in life and you're saying, I don't have opportunity, I don't have funding, I don't have this, I don't have that. Whenever you want to do something and you're focusing your attention on what you don't have, it's because God is not your source. Because quite frankly, if God is your source and you know God is limitless, then you will not limit yourself, because you know God is limitless. Because God is your source. To tap into God's source, you need to detach yourself from the lie that they have told you. Please know that nobody pay you. You are the one that pay you. It's a lie that they pay you. Nobody pay you. It is you that pay you. This is why you need nobody but you. Whether it's your boss or your client, they are all physical expression of you, right? So everybody is therefore nothing more than a mirror through which you pay yourself. So the job that pay you is not the one paying you. Rather, you are the one paying yourself. The client that pay you is not the one paying you. Rather, you are the one paying yourself. So how do you then pay yourself? People are nothing more than an instrument through which you pay yourself, depending on your internal stability. The money you get paid is nothing more than an effect which was set in motion through the mental declaration, which is the cause. What you get paid is an effect. What you get paid is an effect. What you get paid is an effect. So to make more, you don't need to do more. Rather, you need to start being more. To pay more, you don't need to do more. You need to start being more. You need to start being more. Now, there was a session this evening, and someone was talking about when you put in a lot of effort and seems nothing is happening. That's a good feedback that you are not more yet. Look, if you are doing so well, so much, and you expect to earn more, and you are not earning more, please stop doing more. Become more. Stop doing more. Become more. Stop doing more. Become more. I don't know how to drive this into people's mind. That the opportunity that comes to you in life is directly proportional to what you have created on the inside. If you become more, more will come because more already exists. You have not just created enough energy to direct it, to send it your way or send in your direction. The day you generate enough energy and you have the frequency that resonates with you to send in your direction, it will come. So stop doing more. Become more. You want to tap into God economy? Become more. Become more. People are nothing more than instruments through which you pay yourself. To make more money, don't do more, become more. So if you are earning less now, it is because you are paying yourself less through your mental declaration of your self-worth in your mind. Remember that you can only prosper to the level of the prosperity of your soul. You cannot outrun your frequency. You cannot outrun your frequency. You cannot outrun your frequency. If you're operating at a frequency of wealth of 5 million per annum, you will not be able to earn more than that per annum. You cannot outrun your frequency. You cannot outrun your frequency. You cannot outrun your frequency. If you are earning less and you want to earn more, become more through your mental declaration, through your self-worth. Remember that you can only prosper to the level of the prosperity of your soul. I wish, beloved, I wish above all things that thou mayest prosper and be in health, even as your prosper. You prosper to the level of your soul prosperity. You prosper. Remember, your soul is the seat of your will, your mind, and emotion. Remember, your soul is the seat of your will, your mind, and your emotion. And my interest here is your emotion. It's your emotion. Because if you have that emotionally charged thought for wealth, it will cascade into your mind. You prosper to the level of prosperity of your soul. You need to grow the prosperity of your soul. How do you do that? What's your target? What do you want to earn? You are currently earning a particular amount per month, and you want to, let's say you're earning currently 200K per month, and you want to begin to earn 500K per month. You need a consciousness of someone earning 500K per month. And you need to get into your subconscious mind and see yourself getting a job that give you that amount. And you need to create that emotional experience through your mind until you have no doubt in your mind that it has happened, because there's an internal shifting. When there is an internal shifting, you know, let me give an example of this internal shift I talk about most of the time. If someone, for one reason or the other, touch, okay, a child, you tell this child, don't go near electricity. Don't go, it's always chasing him away from electricity. The day you are not there to stop him, and he touch it, and the thing shake him, and he fell down, there will be internal shifting immediately. And if you register straight in the subconscious mind that this thing is dangerous, he won't go there again. Why? If you move close, he will remember, this is what happened the other time. An internal shift. So he believed this thing is dangerous. Don't go there. He believe it now. Why? Because of the trauma created by that experience. It's an emotional experience. You can create that emotional experience. It's your job. God has given us a fantastic sense of imagination. A fantastic sense of imagination. A fantastic sense of imagination. God has given it to us so that you can spend time to create an image, and you engage with it, and you feel the way you will have felt. So, for example, if you are now earning that 500K, when you go to the mall, how will you talk? When you hear that the price of rice is 65,000 per bag, and it used to be maybe 30,000, what will you say? How will you talk? How? How will you talk? What will you say? How will you talk? What will you say? What will you say? How will you talk? If you have shifted internally, the way you will talk and what you will say will show that you earn more. That you earn more. Someone say, this is expensive. It's expensive. There is no such thing as expensive. There is no such thing as expensive. And you need to believe that. It's all a level of consciousness and awareness. So if you are earning less now, it's because you are paying yourself less through your mental declaration and your self-worth. Remember, you can only prosper to the level of protection of your soul. I wish above all things that thou mayest prosper and be in health, even as your soul prosper. This is why, listen to this, two professionals can be doing exactly the same thing. This is why two professionals in the same field can be doing exactly the same thing in the same organization. Sorry, two professionals in the same field can be doing exactly the same thing as a business person in the same economy. Maybe they are chartered accountants, they are lawyers, they're doctors, they are professionals. Two of them in the same field. Please listen to this. Don't miss this. Don't miss this. Both of them are in the same field. Both of them. Earning the same thing. Sorry, doing the same thing. But one can charge for a job that will take him a day to do. He can charge 5 million, and the other one will struggle to charge 1 million. the same professional, in the same job, in the same economy, one can charge more and people are willing to pay, while the other will charge less and people are not even willing to pay the less he charged. People are not willing to pay the less he charged. Many want to be paid more physically, but they have not become more from the point of frequency. So if you want to be paid more physically, you have to become more from the point of frequency. Let me give you an example. I think I've given this example before. That someone, an organization invited me. He wanted us to come and speak. And I told him, if I'm going to speak, 1 hour is going to cost this much. He said, no, they won't be able to pay that, or they will pay this amount. And I told them, I'm not interested. Why? I'm not interested because my self-worth, I know my self-worth, and that my 1 hour is costing this much. Instead of coming to waste my time there, I would rather sit down, read, learn, write my books, do some other productive thing. That is the consciousness. Not to say, half bread is better than none. Let me take this one, or at least it's still better than nothing. Poverty consciousness, lack consciousness, scarcity consciousness. If you are in a field and you render a service and what you are charging, people are not willing to pay, it's a sign that you are attracting the wrong people. You are talking to the wrong people. Because there's no such thing as expensive. There's no such thing as expensive. There's no such thing. Immediately someone says your service is expensive, you just know this is not my customer. Period. And move on. Be ready to go without a deal rather than reducing your price. And you must get used to this until everybody knows this is what you charge and they accept you, particularly if you are delivering the value. Two people can be in the same profession, doing the same thing. One will charge more, the other will charge less. So if you want to be paid more physically, but you have not become more from the point of frequency, it will be a struggle. Your frequency is the boundary of anything you can manifest in this reality. Please note, you cannot outrun your frequency. That's why even when you win lottery, you had a windfall, opportunity just show up and you have your percentage of level of a percentage of your soul is 5 million per annum. Now you have 110 million. You will make stupid decisions until you get to the level of your soul, the level of your vibration, the level of your wealth consciousness. The frequency is the boundary of anything you can manifest in this life. So please, if you feel where you are working, they are not paying you enough, that's fine. Grow your soul and attract better job. Period. 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 Or grow your soul and attract promotion to increase your earning. Period. 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 C'est fini. It's finished. People are nothing more than instruments through which they pay themselves depending on their internal stability. By internal stability, I mean your emotional security. For many people, your emotional security when it comes to money is actually emotional insecurity. This emotional insecurity is manifested through worry, through stress, and through fear. There are three emotions. These three emotions project a frequency that is misaligned with the God force, which is the infinite intelligence and the universal flow. So these three emotions show that your internal world is actually communicating with the universe. So when you exhibit any of these three emotions as a result of the situation or circumstance in your life, the universe will magnify your life Magnify that thing in your life and maintain that level. So if you worry about money, it will give you more situations and circumstances to worry more about money. If you are stressed about money, it will give you more things to be stressful about money. The more stable you are internally, that is, no stress, no worry, no fear, the more stable you are financially. That is why the first place to begin is to ensure internally you are full of love, joy, and peace. That's the place to begin. That is the point of positioning yourself. That is the point of positioning yourself. That is the point of positioning yourself. You know, I've emphasized this for many times, and it's deliberate I emphasize it. That look, if you want to tap into God's economy, remember, God is limitless. God is limitless. God is limitless. If you are going to tap into God's economy, you need to position yourself in a way that no matter the situation and circumstances of life that you face, no matter the situation and circumstances of life that you face, you are not worried, you are not stressed, you are not fearful. You are full of peace and joy. Always at peace, full of joy and love. Why? No matter what. So when you are in that place, what it does for you is positioning you to be able to receive and tap into God frequency, into God economy. But when money creates panic, brethren, friends, guys, ladies, if money creates panic in your life, you will not be able to attract it to your life. If lack of money creates fear, you will not attract fear. You won't attract money. So you need to ask yourself, look, the way you feel about lack of money is a trauma you acquire growing up. Maybe the way your parents, your uncle, someone around you behave when there's no money. So you don't want that to happen to you. So you now live in fear. I cannot afford this. And you are not conscious of the fact that you are afraid. And you are remembering what happened to your parent or to your uncle or to your aunt or to your neighbor when they don't have money. The more stable you are internally, the more stable you will be financially. This is because what creates these three emotions of worry, fear, and stress is predominantly lack of money, inadequate money, lack of money. You know why? The Bible says that he that has will be given more. He that hath not, he will be taken from him that which he has. Look, if you live your life in a way that you have that stable emotion and you begin to earn more, after a while, you are not bothered as in, you know, the reason why people behave. So, for example, let me give you an example. I used to have a driver. And by the way, I'm looking for a driver in case you have someone, but the person have to be within Surulere. I used to have a driver. This driver, if someone maybe scratch us, he want to park and get down to fight the person. You know why people get down to fight when someone hit them or scratch them? You know why? The pain of the money they will spend. So you can see where the thought of not having money, how it can destroy you, how it can mess people up. And while they are fighting there, it can hit someone, the person collapse. But the reason he will come, as I will tell him that, come, I don't understand. You want to get and go and fight because he said, can't you see the way he hit us? I said, please, can you enter and let's go? Can you enter and let's go? Why? Because, number one, I don't even have a time to waste on the road. Number two, that's a sign of internal poverty, scarcity. Because if you can take care of it, fine, what the person has done is not good enough, but you want to go and be fighting, allowing what happened externally to affect how you feel, you don't want to be in that place. That's a terrible place to be. That's a bad place to be. That's a terrible place to be. That's a bad, you cannot afford the external control you internally. You can't afford it. It doesn't make sense. Whenever anybody do, it could be bus conductor went away with your change. It could be something that will cost you more. If you have the money, you might not have the cash, but if you have been shifted internally, even when you don't have the cash, you are not bothered. You're not worried. Why? The fact that you're not worried is a sign, and you're passing the test to show the God system of the universe that you are abundant. You are more than this. And when you are more than this, then you attract it to you because you are more than this. You are more than this. The more unstable you are internally, the more insecure you will become internally. And the easier it is for you to be swayed externally. The easier it is for you to be swayed externally. The easier it becomes for you to fall into this emotion of worry, into this emotion of fear, into this emotion of stress. Because you are not stable internally. You are not stable internally. You're not stable internally. You're not stable internally. To pay yourself, you must learn how to do the opposite of these three emotions. Worry, fear, and stress. To pay yourself a lot, you need to remain in a state of relaxation. To pay yourself more, you need to remain in a state of relaxation. To be on God's payroll, you must detach from outer economy and connect to the inner economy, which is the economy of God. The outer economy are common sense on the negative impact and outcome of the current state of the economy or business. Look, if you are plugged into God's economy, the state of Nigeria will not be a problem for you. Oh, no job, no opportunity. No, that will not be a problem. I'm telling you. Why? The opportunity already exists. You have not just been at a frequency that resonates with it for you to attract it to yourself. And the beginning of that is when you are still peace, full of love, joy, and peace. The outer economy is the world economy. The inner economy is God economy. And it's an economy full of abundance. Hello? The inner economy is God economy. This economy that is full of abundance. This is an economy that is immune to recession. This is an economy that is recession-proof economy. God economy is recession-proof economy. Recession-proof economy. This economy is not affected by impact of recession. That is why you cannot afford to spend your time around people that say, Nigeria. Nigeria. No this in Nigeria. No that in Nigeria. No this. The reason you are saying no this, no that in Nigeria, complaining bitterly about Nigeria, is because you are plugged to the world economy and not the God economy. In the God economy, there is abundance. In God economy, there is no scarcity. In God economy, everything is available. In God economy, everything is already exists. No scarcity. And you need to create this abundance inside. Ladies and gentlemen, you need to plug into God economy. To pay yourself a lot through the God economy and be put on the payroll of God, you have to be abundant before the world prove it to you. You have to be abundant before the world prove it to you. Please know that abundance, let me ask you, what is abundance? To you, what is abundant? Drop it in the chat. Drop in the chat. What is abundant to you? Drop it in the chat. What is abundant to you? Drop it in the chat. I'll be waiting for you in the chat. What is abundant? Drop it in the chat. Hello? What is abundant? Drop it in the chat. I can't see any message in the chat. What is abundance to you? Someone said $1 billion. What's abundance to you? I've only seen one person. Sufficient not to require aid. Sufficiency not to require aid. What is abundance to you? Another person? What is abundance to you? $20,000 monthly. What is abundant to you? We have about 7 people on this live. What is abundant to you? Do we notice that everybody say different things? What I tell you is that abundance is not a number. Abundance is not a number. Abundance is an internal state of having more than is enough. Abundance. Someone says abundance is having everything I need to fulfill destiny, all resources, including money. So all of us have different definitions. And that's to let you know that abundance is not a number, it's a state. It's a state. An internal state that you have more than enough. Remember that before anything exists physically, it first exists vibrationally in your mind. You have to therefore be in an internal state that is more than enough. And to do this, you need to be mentally repeat to yourself that you have more than enough. You need to mentally repeat to yourself that you have more than enough. You need to mentally repeat to yourself that you have more than enough. With an emotion of how you will feel if you have enough. And continue until you believe it. Please note that the abundance is not really about how much you have, but rather it's about how much you feel you have. It's not about how much you have physically. It's about how much you feel you have. There is a book called Feeling in the Secret. Feeling is the secret. Feeling is the secret. How much you feel you have. That's where abundance relies. How much you feel you have. It's not about how much you have. It's about how much you feel you have. To pay yourself a lot, ladies and gentlemen, to put yourself on God's payroll, to plug yourself to God's economy, you need to be in a state of relaxation where you feel serene and confident. When you remain in this state, the God system of the universe will magnify and maintain it by bringing to you more situations and circumstances in your life, financially, that keep you perpetually in this state. That keep you perpetually in this state. In summary, as I close, to plug into God's economy, I must be one with God. Abide in me and I in you. Without me, you can do nothing. To abide in him is to be one with him. To be one with him is to be full of love, joy, and peace. To be one with him is to be full of love, joy, and peace. To be one with him is to be full of love, joy, and peace. To be one with him is to be full of love, joy, and peace. Because God is love. And when you are in this state, then you need to develop that sense of worth. If you want to develop a sense of worth, buy expensive things sometimes to tell yourself you can afford it. Checking into an hotel, live a luxury life, and ensure you have enough emotional experience to remind yourself of that, pictures and the like. Luxury. So you experience it and you now know it's possible and that you can make it your reality. As I close, please remember, don't rely on just what is happening on the outside. Grow yourself internally. Have that emotional experience that puts you at a frequency because of internal shifting that make you to believe and know that it is done. And you can afford it. And this is what you are worth. And guess what? Reality will catch up with it. And you can begin to tap into God's system, God's economy. So there's no such thing as I can't afford it. It's too high. All right. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining again tonight. Let me hear from you, what have you learned tonight? Good evening. First on my list is Ahila. Ahila. I hope I pronounce it Ahila. Did I pronounce it well? Ahila. Are you there? Or is it Ahila? Okay. Ahila is not here. Eunice, good evening. Hello. Hello, Eunice, are you there? I can't hear you. What is happening tonight? Is it your network? Eunice, can you hear me? Okay.
I can hear you clearly, sir.
What happened? You're muted, but you're not talking.
I was talking. No, you were not hearing me.
Wow. Go ahead.
Okay, so for tonight's class, I have one question.
Go
Although
ahead.
everything that my question was said, you gave of two professionals having to provide services to people. I have two questions. The first question is, what if both professionals are in the same environment, meaning that they have access to the same set
So
of people?
let me give you an example. What I mean: two doctors in Lagos, they graduated the same day from the same school,
Okay.
and now they are working in different places. Or sorry, they are doing the same business, but different businesses. As in, so maybe one is a doctor in Ikeja, another one is a doctor in Lupeju. Do you understand what I mean? They are doing exactly the
Yes,
same
sir.
private practice, the same thing, everything. So ask your question now.
Okay, so if one chooses to say, "Oh, I want to set my price at 1 million," and this other one is setting their price at 5 million, and he gets a proposal of 2 million and says, "Oh, I'm not taking it because my standard is 5 million," how is that person going to manage their basic needs if that's the job that they depend on for living? My question is, based on this kind of theory or ideology, how would that person that is pricing at that 5 million say, "Oh, if it doesn't come, fine, I don't mind. I'll wait till I get my own." Now, how would that person sustain his or her living expenses before he gets the right client that would pay, and before he or she gets the kind of presence or the kind of visibility that will attract the right customers or clients that can pay that amount? How would that person survive?
First
That's
of
my
all,
question, sir.
that question is coming from a place of scarcity.
Hey, Jesus.
That question is coming from a place of scarcity. That
Okay.
I'm not able to get anybody, then I can't meet my need. That question is coming from a place of scarcity. A person that have grown internally to 5 million, he didn't start with 5 million. Number one, he grew to that point. So these two people now came out. It took maybe a year or 2 years to get to that point, meaning he has started to working. He's just conscious of the value he creates. Because he's conscious of the value he creates, he's going to attract the people that need his service, such that when those that cannot afford it show up, in fact, those that cannot afford it showing up is a test. If he accepts it because of meeting the immediate need, that's a sign that he doesn't believe what is what, and he doesn't see God as his source. You don't know what belief is. The day you know what belief is, you understand what I'm talking about. When you know what belief is, you will see that accepting that is a waste of your time. Because you're already being productive, that you can use that time to do something else and earn more. So let me flip it. If the 1 hour I will use to do that thing for that person, or the 1 day I will use to do that thing for that person, I'll put it into other productive activity that will give me more. Why will I accept that? And the reason why I will not accept that is because I know I always have an alternative, because I don't have scarcity mentality. Because when you allow the pressure of scarcity, if this does not happen, when will I get? Where will I get? When will I get? That means that thing is my source. God is not my source. Look, when you are trying to grow your internal state, wealth inside, you are going to face this test. You are going to face this test. What you just described now is a test. You're going to face it. And when you are confronted with that test, passing it will show God's system that you have abundance inside. And when you have abundance inside, abundance will come outside. Not passing it will show God's system you have scarcity inside. And if you have scarcity inside, to bring scarcity on the outside. Does that make sense?
Yes, I get your point, sir.
Is there 2 questions? What's the other one?
Yes, you already answered both. The first question
Okay.
was the client side, and the other question was how we survive.
Okay.
And thank you, sir.
Yeah. Grand. Hello, Grand. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
Yes, sir. Thank you for the session. So tonight,
Yep.
what I first learned, and you were speaking on to do more or to have more, you need to
Don't
become
do
more.
more. Become more.
Yes, but after you become more, you do more now.
Let the doing come from your intuition, your inspiration.
Okay.
Let
But
the
that
doing,
does-
because when the doing come from your inspiration, you are going to be more smart. You're going to be smarter and more productive and more efficient because you're going to do things that will give the result you are looking for, not just going up and down because everybody that's everybody. Yes, go ahead.
Okay. But it does not eliminate the time that the work will still take to bring fruits,
No,
right?
that's not correct. If you were not around last week, you were not around. Go and listen to the session we had last week. The session we had last week talk about the illusion of saying it must take time. That's not true. That's not true.
So, but
Let me explain. So imagine 2 people in a business. Someone has spent 20 years before he could achieve something, and someone else achieved that same thing in 5 years. And you're asking, how is this person able to? See, the person achieved in 20 years. It took him 20 years to build credibility. Both of them are competent. The guy that is making it 5 years is competent. The guy that making it in 20 years is competent. But 20 years for him to build credibility, to be able to attract the kind of people that will help him to achieve that kind of income. But this other person does not need to build that credibility because he's already in a state of consciousness that resonates with people to attract them to himself. So what this guy took 20 years to be able to build credibility to attract, someone else attracted in less than 5 years because of his state of consciousness. But both of them are equally competent to do the job. Does that make sense?
A little. Well, so
I'm trying to say that it doesn't have to take that 20 years. The 20 years to earn that income is because the people see, they know this person for he has built credibility. And I'm saying they gave him the job because of credibility. And you can attract that to yourself, even if you don't have that level of credibility, but you are competent to do the job. I don't know if I'm making sense.
Yes, I mean, what you are saying is desirable. Like, I'm saying that, when you want something to be true, you kind of force yourself to say it true. So what you are saying is very attractive to me. Therefore, I find it desirable. Nonetheless, I'm trying to be, in quotes, realistic. And one of the questions I even intend to ask you is, I say I'm trying to be realistic.
You cannot
one of the questions
Hello? You cannot be realistic if you want to manifest your desired reality.
So what is reality?
I said, if you want to manifest your desired reality, what you want, your desired reality, you cannot be realistic. Because when you are realistic and you are logical, then you will not be able to. Because what we are discussing is not logical. Frequency defies being logical. It defies it. What will make you to earn the same income like that person that spent 20 years is the opportunity that come your way. The other guy get more opportunity because he has built network. You don't have that network. But because of your state of consciousness, you are able to attract such people to you. So, for example, how do you attract them to you? Because you're in that state of consciousness, you got an intuition to set up a website to show what you are doing online. Because those people are going to see, and they saw what you are doing online. This person has to do it for many years for them to know it in the industry. You just put it online, and they saw it and gave you exactly what they would give someone that spent 10 years and 20 years.
Okay.
Am I making sense to you?
Yes.
Because if you don't understand this, please, you need to listen to what we discussed last week. What you are saying now, we discussed it last week, and I spent a lot of time talking about it last week. When you think that you must pay your dues, you must pay your dues. You must pay your dues. You must pay your dues, meaning you must spend the same year everybody spent to achieve that reality. And I give an example. People are doing PhD for 10 years, but some people finish it in 2 years. In the same Nigeria. Not the different environment. Some people finish it in 3 years. Some people 10 years, they are still on it. The further they do it in 10 years, does anybody have to do it in 10 years? But some people do it in 3 years and they are done. The same thing. So it doesn't have to take that long year for you to be able to achieve what other people achieve in terms of the desired reality you want. You know, you don't know how growing up has affected you. All of us.
Yes.
Because growing up, they say you must pay your due. It must be like this. That is in itself a challenge. Why? Because it makes us not to now believe that we can achieve that in less time. We now believe we must achieve it in more time. And that there is a problem. Some people believe in earning it. Earning it. And this is based on observation and experience of the trajectory of people and the mindset they are picked up in their environment. There's just something noble about earning it. The idea of becoming a millionaire in 6 months is not a good one to you, because everybody that become a millionaire became a millionaire in 6 years. The reason for this is because of the emotional experience you have had from the story of many people who are deemed to have paid their dues because of the years it took them to achieve that thing. Okay, so I would recommend you listen to the session we had last week. Go ahead.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. I'm really very interested in my life, in this first life I'm living, because one of the things that bothers me or that disturbs me a little is that it's the first time I'm living. I've not lived before. I have no pre-womb memory. It's just my first time, and somehow I'm supposed to get everything right. It's a burden. So
no, you don't have to get everything right. Whatever your hand finds to do, do it. You don't need to get everything right, but you must know that all reality leads to the same place. Everything leads to the same place, the place of your desired reality. So, if I make a mistake, I shouldn't be bothered about that. If it's a sincere mistake, everything will work together for my good. Just keep moving, keep learning, keep growing. Don't worry about whether you make mistakes. You will make mistakes. The question is, how do you allow the mistake you made to affect you? It's not about what happened to you. It's about who you are and become by virtue of what has happened. It's not about what will happen. It's about who you are when it happened. It's about who you are when it happened. It's about who you are when it happens. You need to be in that state of consciousness that know that everything works together for my good. Everything. Everything. So I'm not afraid to take chances, or to, which is why I said, take the step based on intuition, or what you can call inspiration, or a mental nudge based on your state of consciousness. So please don't be afraid to make mistake.
Thank you, sir. Those statements you just made relieved burden from my soul.
Don't be afraid to make mistake. Because you can't avoid mistake. You can't. You can't. We have not lived before. You can't. But when it happens, who you are, and you become worried, I'm finished. How do I do this now? I cannot. That is where the problem is. That is where, because where you shouldn't be moved by what you can see. Because what you can see is temporal. What you cannot see is eternal. You should be moved by the fact that that is only 0.0035% of reality. Who told you that there is not something else coming to you that will help you to get through that very soon? Who does even told you that that is not necessary for you to be able to get to the ultimate destination? It's just like Joseph. And you're saying Joseph should not go to Potiphar's house. Why will he not go to Potiphar's house? He should not go to prison. Why will he not go to prison?
I don't know. That's part of assumption of saying that you don't know what will happen. You don't know whether it will be this direction.
You are not supposed to know because you are not God. So you shouldn't worry yourself about what you don't have control over.
Yes, that's true. But why do we make the assumption? Like, it's one thing that is
assumption that what?
The assumption that something just happens, like something unpleasant happens, and then people now begin to make assumptions of maybe it's for good, maybe it's for this thing, maybe it's for that. I don't like it's
make assumption, maybe it's for this, maybe it don't make assumption. The truth is everything work together for your good. That's the truth.
Okay, yeah, okay, that's the
what
truth.
You make from it depends on you.
Okay.
Look at this. 2 people had an extra year in school. 2 people had an extra year in school. Same situation. One of them committed suicide. The other one is inspiring young people to dare out not to be stupid on campus. It is understanding that it works together for my good. When I know it works together for my good, I'll be at peace, I'll full of joy in spite of the situation. And because I'm at peace and full of joy, you know what will happen? The situation, God's system will arrange certain circumstances to make it work together for my good. But when I'm terrified, sad, worried, full of fear, He will also arrange certain circumstances to make it worse.
Okay, sir. So, thank you very much. I'm not done.
Go ahead.
I mean, that was at the beginning.
There you go.
I now discovered, so when you were speaking on to become more, which we already spoke about,
yes,
then now saw that identity consciousness, which is sense of self-worth, seems to be the most important ingredient.
The most important, my brother. The most important. The awareness of who you are. You see the awareness? Because when you are not aware of it, you can't take advantage of it. What you don't know you have, you can't use. Go ahead.
So my question now first to be that identity. Do you go to find it, or do you make up who you are, or how do you create an identity? Like, do you manipulate the identity just for?
Identity, it now depends on the way you define identity. Identity in this case is who I am vis-a-vis what I want to get. For example, if I want a job, then my identity should be, the way I see myself should be that I have the job. That's the way I should see myself. That's now identity in relation to what I am believing God for. I should not identify as someone who has the job. Now, immediately I see myself as having the job, then I should be talking to someone that has the job. I remember when I wanted to get a job in the bank. I have a friend. My friend already had a job in Zenith Bank. I didn't look for a job early because I wanted to do medicine and direct entry was not working. Before I now changed my stance, I would get a job. Immediately I made up my mind to get a job in the bank. You see, my friend, every evening I will go and meet him, we'll be gisting. I want to hear what he's discussing in the office. I'm playing in my head every time what experience in the office. What does he do? What's a typical day like? Sometimes I will even see him off to the bus stop in the morning, just talking about the office till I got a job in the bank.
So, did you know at that time what you were doing? Were you intentional?
I like that question. I didn't know this much, but there's something I know that whatever you desire, go for it. I desire it, and to be able to get it, I need to talk to someone in that field to be able to put me through. In fact, when I enter medical school, I think it's just the way I live my life. When I enter medical school, now we enter in at that time, lecture will start around new section start around October. So there's one tutorial they will do for us July, August, ahead of September resumption, that they will do on campus to prepare people that want to new. I joined that tutorial. I got to meet people. So I had one friend who lived in my area who was a student. I have a friend in church who was a friend of someone who already had admission. So that my friend, both of us don't have admission yet, but that my friend had a friend who they went to secondary school who already had admission, and in Unilag, he took me to his house. Now, I've not gotten a job, but I'm hoping to get admission in Unilag. I don't have admission yet too. I think we became friends. When I got admission, I would go to see the guy's house. We would talk. I talked to a level to create the experience. I didn't know what I was doing, by the way. But I just want to prepare my mind for what I will see when I start. And guess what? It helped me, because by the time we resume school, what we will do for the next 3 months, I've already learned it discussing with people, and I move at that pace. So till I finish school, I was always ahead. So I was teaching my colleague tutorial class because I'm always reading ahead. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. But I didn't know, like you said, I didn't know. It's now I can see in retrospect what I was doing at that time. I don't know if I answered your question.
Yes, you did. So now, maybe this can be the final question, but are there times when you'll be intentional about creating the emotional experience in your mind, the pictures, the images?
You need to be intentional about that every day. You must. Yes. I do that every morning. My first 1 hour when I wake up, I have a headphone, I have a music I will listen to, I have the confession where I will speak every morning. Every morning. In fact, let me tell you, when I do it in the morning, between 5, we typically have devotion around 5:30. So I wake up around 4, between 4 and 5, between 4 and 5, or 4:30 and 5:30. We do devotion between 5:30 and 6. Between 6 and 7, I'll do my exercise, 6 and 6:30. Between 6:10 and 6:45, get ready to go to work. When I get to work, I typically get to work before 8 and work start by 8. Between 7:20 that I get to work and 8, I'm in the car doing exactly the same thing. Every day. Every day. Every day. You need to create what you want in your life, because you need to reinforce that frequency every day. Reinforce it. If you want it to manifest, reinforce it. Reinforce it. Reinforce it. Because when you reinforce it, it's real to you. It keeps increasing the intensity, so that anything that comes to bring doubt, it will not even make sense. I saying it will dispel it, because you are so full of this thing happening. The way you visualize it every day to create an emotional experience. Look, the way you will feel when, as you need to create that emotional. Sometimes you need to get to that point that you it's like you are crying. Why? Because exactly the way you will feel when this thing happens. Every day. Have I answered your question?
Yes. So the final part of that question is now that, yes, I understand that very clearly, like to make it so vivid in my mind. Then, is there a possibility that, does it happen that the time frame of the thing you are creating the emotional experience and imagery in your mind for passes and it doesn't happen?
What do you mean that it passes and it doesn't happen?
Okay, so the first time I heard,
you are the one that put a time to it.
I know
and
that, yes,
say
I'm
it
aware
must
of that.
happen at this time.
So there is a time frame within which something expires is basically useless.
That's not true. That's not true.
Oh, so there's a time frame there.
So give me an example of that thing that expires and become useless.
So I was in school. Now I finished 2023. Then 2023, June. So in 2022 December was when we first had this discussion, which may I
Okay.
call Ash discussion. But before that discussion, in short, the reason I came for 2022's meeting was because around September, I stumbled on what I call Astral. And I was already going through studying it and all of those things. So when I saw the meeting and I saw the whole content of the meeting, I'm like, what is this? So I attended the meeting, I learned a whole lot of things from you. And then the next year, I made dramatic transformations to my relationships, like general interpersonal relationships was very, very dramatic, which was 2023. But so I decided to use that same mental tactic to create for myself a brand new suit that I wanted to wear for my project defense. So I would imagine it, create it. I would see when I'm in church and I find somebody who's wearing just like the type of navy suit I wanted, I would create the feeling. But it never got to happen. That's long past. So the time frame passed. I did everything, but it didn't happen. What do you have to say about that?
So, this is exactly the reason why you need to listen to the session we had. The last two sessions, actually, not just last week, last two sessions. When you say, I want this to happen and it did not happen, always remember, these are principles, right? Principles are universal, experience is peculiar. You know what you did. But the truth is, if I have a plug on the wall of electricity, if I plug my phone on it, there's a current in it will charge. If I plug my phone on it and there's current in it, it will charge, unless there's a disconnect between that current and my phone. If I do it and I didn't see the result, it's not the principle that is faulty, it's me. And if I don't understand where the gap is, then I will repeat that error again and again. If I don't know, which is where, in fact, that's the reason we did the last two sessions, why there is a delay, what could be causing delay. And it's now for you to sit down and analyze it and ask, what am I not doing correctly? Where is the delay? What is it that I'm doing and I'm not doing right that I need to improve upon? That's actually why we did the last two sessions. So that you will be able to understand that, okay, I think I didn't do this right. Okay, I need to improve on this. I need to do this. I need to do this. I need to do this. Because, as I said, if you plug it in, it's a principle. You plug it in, you should charge your phone. Unless there's a disconnect between your socket and your phone. So you are the only one, which is why I put those signs and symptoms out there. You are the only one that will be able to know. You need to do a critical review, because it's only when you do that you'll be able to know and then do it differently next time.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir.
All right. FOM, good evening. FOM laptop, are you there? Hello?
Sir.
Good evening.
I hear you, sir.
Okay.
Brother, sir, thank you so much, sir.
Yeah.
And thank you for coming around today.
Thank
much,
you.
sir. God bless you, sir. So, it was very, very impactful. We really, really appreciate, sir. We really, really appreciate.
Thank you.
Yeah, that word that you mentioned, sir.
Which one?
Somebody did not really understand what is as the meaning of belief.
Yes.
Because I think that word belief, if somebody really understands, if you believe in something, there's no how that thing will not come to true. It's really like give your heart to something, you say, this thing I believe.
I'm struggling to hear you. I don't know what's wrong with the network. I can't even hear you at all again. Hello?
Can you hear me?
I'm hearing it's going off and on,
Can
off and on, off and on. Maybe you can go out and come in again.
Oh.
It's going off and on. I will hear you then to go. Hello? Hello? Okay, why is going out and in? Favor, can you go ahead?
Good evening, sir.
Good
Thank you
evening.
so much today. Yes, sir. So the takeaway for me from this session, I like that part where you talked about the fact that we're the ones who pay ourselves. Because somehow we've conditioned it to mean, okay, I earn this. Maybe for instance, I work and I earn salary. It means my employer is paying me. But if I see it differently, it means that if I want a change, then it means I have to do something about my own self. And I see that practically because to a very large extent, I started to do something differently about myself. Like maybe 3 years, I wanted to go into something and I then started studying around it. And I've been doing a lot of studies around it. And that has been building up over time. And I see it playing out when I have the opportunity to actually use that skill, when I have the opportunity to the point where um I start to get commendations around it. So I'll just see a senior person walk up to me and say, "Oh, this thing you're doing." And really, it wasn't, I don't know how to put it. I know somebody was asking a question initially about intentionally. I hadn't known these things that you had mentioned as at the time when I was doing it, but was doing it casually. But I think what I notice is happening, that's for me, I'm speaking about myself now, is that as I listen to these sessions, it starts to add up. It starts to and what that's doing, it's actually creating speed. It's actually just like you said, where a person will think, okay, it will take me 6 years to get to this point. But with certain knowledge and with certain understanding, you can actually forth that thing that you actually desire, that desired reality. It can actually come even way faster than you would have imagined years back if you were waiting to count down on the six years. But one thing I noticed again is sometimes what I have noticed for myself that could sometimes be a challenge is the fact that why while that is happening, I'm then looking at it again as to I don't know how to put this. I think breaking in between is like um for instance, let me give you a typical example. You have a desired reality and you started working towards it in the mind, in subconscious, but sometimes that doubt or that moment or that as a maybe an event or something something happens in between and it wants to shift it. So sometimes I struggle with that bit at that moment. It takes me some time to get myself back again.
What do you mean something happened between that I want to shift it? I didn't get that.
Okay, so something happens. It's like if my desired reality, maybe I should use I don't use exact things. Okay, so if my desired reality, for instance, is to own a car, for instance, have the value of the car in my mind. I have the type. I've seen myself. I've visualized myself riding it. I've seen everything, and then just as I am in that state, maybe something comes up and it looks as though, oh, a huge amount of money is about to get to me or something. And then something just comes up, maybe that money didn't come. And while that huge amount of money is trying to get to me, my thought is saying, this huge amount of money hits me, this reality is here. And then in between that huge amount of money doesn't come. There's a shift a bit because I was probably saying, oh, this is it. Oh, here it is. But at the same time, it doesn't happen. Then it creates that space in between where I try to say, okay, have I visualized this enough? Was it right?
Hold the thought. Yes, that's exactly what Grant was saying. Don't judge the manifestation of your reality by what you can see. So meaning, even when it has not happened physically, does not mean it's not happening vibrationally. Judging by what you can see is walking by sight, not by faith. So you now must be disciplined to see that what you want to manifest already happened, even if I have not seen it physically yet. Because if you don't consciously have that understanding, what you are saying will happen. Because you are measuring, your manifestation happened the instant you believe and you know it's been done, even when you cannot see physically yet. And you should not be measuring, because physical reality is a realm of illusion and it's limited. And that you have not seen it physically does not mean it does not exist yet. Only that it has not just manifested physically. So you need to be conscious within yourself to ensure the physicality does not define your reality. It has to be a very serious conscious, because we are human and our eyes is what we are using to judge. Unfortunately, we are not supposed to judge based on what you can see with our eyes. I don't know if that gives some clarity.
Yes, it does, sir. Thank you very much, sir. The second part for me will be the fact that our state of mind actually impacts our seeing our reality.
Yes.
What we think about, what we have, the frequency we operate in, and sincerely, the consciousness of the frequency, having attended these sessions, is actually very real for me as an experience.
Good.
I once had an engagement with someone, and while we were speaking, the person was like, it was like an interview, and then the person is saying, "I see you're already ready for this." I just couldn't know how the person, but the person could.
Your frequency speak before you speak. Your frequency speak before you speak, and that's why the person can feel it. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. So I was really happy. And then I just felt to myself, yes, this is true. Because exactly, even the mindset I came into that point, even the mindset I came in with, I was prepared in my heart. I already have visualized myself there even before that point in time. So having that conversation, it was just like finalizing what I already knew existed. And so I want to say thank you so much, sir, for all of these sessions. And to a very large extent, I think just like what you mentioned, we actually need to consciously go back and play and listen in again. Not just listen once, such that we're able to work with these principles, and we would actually see a lot of results. I've been seeing a lot of results around it.
Fantastic.
And I'll share my
I've been hearing also from different people, different results. Fantastic. Thank you. Yes, FOM, are you back now? FOM?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay, I can hear you.
Yes, sir. Okay. So, yes, this thing is that word belief that is so powerful that we need to really understand more about it. That word belief, even Jesus just say, "Be unto you according to your faith." And then when the Pharisees came to him, he was like, "Which work are we going to do to get to heaven?" He just said they should believe on the Son of Man that God has sent to them. They should believe just the name of the Son of Man that God has sent to them. So that word belief, I think whatever you ask somebody believe, it really works out for the person. Just what you believe. If you just believe that this thing is not good, it's not good to happen, it's not possible to just be like that too, that you can't just have it. But if you make up your mind and like believe it, it will actually want to work out. But what I still want to get very well now, you said time does not really have to do with that belief. That if you believe now, you can make the time shorter. It's not that you be thinking that okay, I believe maybe the next 2 years I will be this.
Don't put that
We can make
timeline.
it. Okay.
Don't put that timeline. Because when you put the timeline, then you are still living in the physical realm. In the spiritual realm, there's no time. There's no time. In the spiritual realm, there's no time. So putting time is tying yourself to this realm of limitation of the earth. And
but I thought they will say you
go ahead.
when you are goals. I thought they will tell you that you set goal, you put time. That you
That's the
don't put
challenge
time.
of goal setting. That's the challenge of goal setting, because you put a time, but you and I know most of the time you don't have control over how this thing will even happen. So why are you putting time on it? That's just motivational speaking on the need. It's good to have goal, but some people will even tell you don't need to set goal actually. You need to create the desired reality you want and work towards it. That's other people's opinion. But setting goal is not wrong. But putting timeline, say it has to happen at this time, you don't have control over that. What say it cannot happen earlier? Why must it happen at that time? Why can't it happen earlier? Unless it's something that by natural design, it must happen at that time. For example, pregnancy, natural design must take 9 months. Unless that, if it's something that other people can achieve in lesser time, why can't you achieve it in lesser time? Why must it take that long time? I don't know if I'm making sense.
Yes.
And it's important we believe in the possibility that we don't need to spend long time to achieve that desired reality. Because the reason you set time is because of the experience you've had, not because that's the way it should be, but because 2, 3, 4 people that you know have achieved that, this is how long it took them. So for you, you feel, oh, okay, it's not possible, it can only be done through it. That's the observation that created an emotional experience that make you to feel this is how it should be. Whereas that's not true. That's not true.
Yeah, I think I get it right, sir. Yeah. Even when you look at the Bible, sir, he's always saying now unto him that is able to do exceedingly. Now, he just tell you as immediately.
Because it happens instantly when you believe, but the physical manifestation might take a while, but it has happened. That's why you need to believe that it has happened. I don't know how to explain this. Immediately, faith is better in your heart, and you know that this has been done. It's done already. Now, you should not be living in reality that is done, even when you have not seen it. It's like a woman that is conceived now. The woman conceived. Can you see the pregnancy? The woman has done a test. The test confirms is pregnant. Can you see it? No. Can people see it? No. Does he know it's pregnant? Yes. He will go and be buying baby things. He'll be living in reality of the fact that I'm having a baby soon. Why? Because he knows he's pregnant, even though he can't see it. But he knows he's pregnant. But there's no physical evidence. There's no physical evidence. Yeah. So we rely too much on physical evidence, and that limits us a lot because our eyes see very limited things on earth.
I actually believe in this frequency of it very, very, and as in this thing, because around April, May, somebody was showing me a car to buy. I just like, will you wait? You should let me spread the money I pay from now to December. The man I said no, that I have to discuss with the wife that is tying their money down, that they just brought in the car to the country, that this thing they just cleared from custom, everything. So he's just starting this importation of a car. So said he need to sell it out and make money. I don't really like this. It looks very small, the car. So I do not like it. So one of my friends is also a dealer, also bringing different car. We bring it, I'll drive it out. The day he bought a Tom Start, and the AC, the inside, everything was so neat, everything was so glaring. I told him that this one is for me. That this one. So I drove it. I was fine with it. So okay, said I should make a deposit. I just tell him, okay. He mentioned I should make a good deposit. He made $1 million. I should have up to that. So for me to give him as a deposit, well, I just said, okay, I'll do the deposit of what you just mentioned. Even the 1 million to top up the money that was with me, he just come to Sha. I first gave him what was with me. He was telling me that was all that. I said, just give me. It was Friday. I said, give me one that will send you the remaining 1 million to tie it down. So he just waited till Monday. Even the money between weekends, just 1 million, it came me sharply. So when the balance was supposed to be October end, this October end, but it came in September 12th. I finished the payment. So I was like, I now believe that time we are even setting our times.
You see now.
is
You see now.
we are limiting
You are
ourselves.
exactly, because you are already setting a time based on other parameters.
Mm, mm. I know it's really working though, because when that other guy was, I already give you. You suppose he agree with me that I should come and pay from now to December. I might be slow with it. I might not take it very this year. But this other guy just say, okay, pay so amount, and it remain a millionaire for that money to reach that amount. And I just send him the one I have, and we was not say it remain a million up to what we agreed. I said, okay, just wait there. And he waited till Monday, he got it. So I was not telling him that you are going to get a balance by October. And it was like, he even agreed, but before I know, he was bringing the car to my face that, see, don't let me be driving this thing. Though. So he was giving me some kind of this thing that
Inspiration.
concerned that you will just be, yes, he will bring it to my office. I'll just look at it. I like, okay. All right now. So I just walked towards it, and the frequency brought the whole thing, and I was able to clear it before September mid due on the September 12th. So I think that timing of it is we imposing ourselves as imposing the
Do
limitation
not set time.
on our own self.
Yeah, avoid it. Don't set time.
Mm.
Don't set time. So that you won't expect that it will not happen earlier, when indeed it can happen earlier. A lot can happen earlier. Thank
Thanks.
you.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Malik, good evening. Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Yes, I can hear you.
Hello.
Hello, I'm struggling to hear. It's like you're far away from the phone. Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Yes, it's a bit better now.
Hello. Oh, okay. Thank you. Things, let me see if I can. The more you are unstable internally, the more you fall into worry, anxiety.
Yes.
Did I get it right?
Worry, anxiety, and stress.
Yeah. Yeah, and stress. I noticed that this minute, they have been looking
Notice
for a
that this
way,
what?
and I noticed little thing disturb me. I noticed that this thing affects me a lot. Little thing disturbs me.
Okay, disturb
Even
you.
if I do, I don't know why. Yeah. So when you mention this, I say, okay, does it mean I'm not stable internally? Then how can I be more stable then?
Good.
Maybe
So,
this will help me to overcome this.
So, when you say something disturb you,
That's
give
question
a
number
typical
one. Let me
example.
wait so that.
Can you give a typical example of
Okay,
something that
for
happened
example,
and how you became worried? I'm trying to get to the root cause. Go ahead.
okay, we're in the office, we're working something that does not concern me. Somebody just sent a mail, you know, telling the old people that it's because of this guy has not done, that's what is causing the problem. Whereas he knew that the problem is from his own side. When I now saw the mail, I replied, say, well, this is not the cause of the problem. What you didn't do is the cause of the problem. So, which is the truth? It's trying to buy time to push it to someone else so that at least they will be looking another direction so that we will quickly go and fix whatever that is wrong. So when I now send the mail, I notice that I feel a bit disturbed. I say, what? I've not done anything wrong. What I did is right. So that's one example. Number two, maybe I'm expecting one of the children just break plates. He went to the kitchen and broke the plate. I wonder, why at this age, why do you have to do this kind of things? Then sometimes emotionally, I feel like, you should be no better than this. Why are you doing this? So I'll be wondering, how can this? I believe these people should know better than what they are doing. So, or I notice, okay, I do more, but people feel like they don't see what you do, but you know you do a lot. So well, I've learned how to appreciate myself. You said the other time, but
Yeah.
I feel all these little things disturb my balance. And I feel I was telling someone, I say, I don't know why all these things should not bother me now. Yeah, and I see it in people, they don't worry, they move on. But me, I will sit down again and think about this, like, what is the issue? I
Let's
move
take one
on.
by one. Let's take one by one. The first one is can you conclude that one in the office? So the person says it's you and you respond that it's not you. So where does the worry come in?
Yeah, well, I just feel like, okay, I was a bit disturbed because actually I wasn't the one already, but I was disturbed that how can this guy know that I'm not the cause of this problem? And he's telling the whole world that I'm the cause of this problem.
So where does the worry
That
come
action,
in?
that is action. No, it's action. His action disturbed me, and it disturbed my
Define
balances.
disturb. Define disturb. Is he worry? Is he
No, the way he's saying, pointing to the higher authority that this is coming from my
what
side.
is creating the worry?
Whereas
You said it. So where is the worry coming from? Is it coming
the tone of his mail, it's coming from me that I expect this guy to know that this is not my cause. Why is he doing this? I felt that he's trying to implicate me.
Good. We are now getting there. That's the interpretation you have given it. That's where the problem is. The interpretation you have given to his action.
Okay.
The interpretation you are giving to his action. So ensure you give the interpretation that serve you. Oh, maybe he didn't know that this is what he's supposed to do. Not because he doesn't know. You have to talk to yourself now. Leave him. Even if he did deliberately, leave him. You are talking to yourself now. Why would this guy do this? Okay, you can never tell. People sometimes occupy position nowadays that they don't even know enough. Maybe he doesn't even know he's the one. Let me send him a mail so he will know he's the one. You know what you're trying to do? You are not thinking that it's implicating you because the concern and the worry is coming from, why does he want them to sack? Why do he want them to implicate? Why does he want them to give me query? But that is the interpretation. That's exactly what is causing the problem. And God has given us the power to be able to interpret it in the way that serves you. So now you have to interpret that situation in the way that will not make you feel bad, feel terrible, feel unhappy, or even hate that person, but rather make you to appreciate whatever it is he has done without being worried about the outcome. So you need to give his action a different meaning. You need to give his action a different meaning. Period.
Okay. I get you. But how can you maintain internal stability because it affects your emotion and your action?
So it's just being conscious of what happened. So let me give you an example of the one you talk about the child. When the child do something wrong, you correct him and move on. I think you shouldn't be, number one, you should understand a child is a child. Being a child, even as a teenager, he will behave like a child. Paul said, when I was a child, I spoke as a child. I understood as a child. I behaved as a child. He said, when I became a man, I put away childish things. To be a man in Israel, before they accept you as a man, you should be 30. That's where most of the Jews begin their ministry. So a child will behave as a child. And we should understand it's a child and behaving as a child. Immediately you know it's a child and behaving like a child, then you shouldn't be worried a child is behaving like a child. In fact, if we are in a meeting and adults are talking and a child is there 5, 6 years old and he sit down quietly for 2 hours, we should be worried. Why will a child sit down quietly? He must be sick. Something is wrong. Because a child, he will scatter everywhere.
Yeah.
He will touch everything. If he's not doing that, that means it's not being a child. So a child must behave like a child. Immediately you have that what's the mentality, and you allow it to ingrain. When you behave, why are you still behaving like a child? You don't know you are getting older, Abi, because you are seeing him as a child,
No.
behaving as a child. So you is the consciousness. Now you're giving that interpretation. What he's doing is behaving as a child. So you're not surprised he's behaving as a child, even though you expect better, but he's still a child, even as a teenager. And he will behave as a child. That's why he has an adult to be able to guide him and lead him in the way he should go. So interpretation. So what I would recommend is you need to be deliberate about the interpretation you give different things that happen around you. Because
okay.
if that your friend, that your colleague, if you wrote that message in French, that message that he implicated, if it's in French, you can't read it, will you be worried?
Not at all.
Why are you not worried?
I don't know. I don't know the meaning.
You don't know what?
I don't know what
You
the
didn't
meaning.
understand.
Yeah.
And that means you can't give it any meaning. And you're fine, even though he has implicated you. He has implicated you.
Yes.
Only that you could not make meaning out of it. So that means it is not what he wrote that is the problem, it's the interpretation you gave it. Because he wrote exactly the same thing, but you cannot understand it, so you can't give it any meaning.
I get you.
You can't give it any meaning. So because you can't give it any meaning, you move on. And that's exactly the way you should treat it. Give it the meaning that serves you more. Now, there's a level of awareness that makes this happen. The level of awareness is, look, for as I'm living today, nothing anybody will do that will make me to lose my peace, my joy. Nothing. I'm conscious of that. So when someone misbehaves, I don't like what he has done, but I remind myself, this will not make me to lose my peace. I will have to interpret it in the way that makes me not to lose my peace. I must be deliberate about that interpretation. I must be deliberate about that interpretation. When I'm deliberate about that interpretation, I interpret in the way that serves me, then I won't be worried about what the people do, what they didn't do. Because before I left home, I already anticipate what can happen. And I've imagined the way I will respond or react, the way I will react to it, and the interpretation I will give it. In fact, if you have a colleague that is troublesome, create those scenarios regularly, create it regularly, so that before you behave, you already give it an interpretation. So when it happens, you're already expecting it, and you give it the right interpretation, and you're not worrying and bothered, you just move on.
Okay, thank you. I get that one right. Then the second question, you said to pay yourself more,
yes,
you need to remain in the state of realization.
No, you
need to become more.
Yes.
Yeah, you need to become more.
Yes.
Now, a scenario happened. Yeah, there was a time where I work. I discovered that what they are paying me is I'm higher than that.
Yeah.
So I approach the Oga, I say, sir, this amount this company is paying me, I think I am more than this. I say I should go and write justification. I wrote justification, I sent to him. He didn't act on it, or he just gave me some excuses. After some time, I went back again. I said, sir, this salary you are paying me, I am not okay with it. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing. He said, the state of the company is this, is that, is that, is those, is this, that trying to present to HR that you are even one of the highest earning in this company. Okay, I kept quiet. I started looking for job while I was still doing my job. Now I got to a time, I got a job and I resigned. Okay, I said, okay, I want to resign. And he said, what? He said, after some time, he said, you okay, just okay. After some time, he went to discuss with the management. He called me, say he has discussed my issue with management. That, okay, management is willing to pay me the amount I wanted to collect in where I'm going. Well, I said, okay, if they are willing to pay me the same amount, I will not collect. I will collect something higher to what the company I'm going is they're planning to give me.
Yeah.
He didn't call me again. After some time, I heard from another person, one of the management, yeah, you have created a problem. I said, what problem? He said, you say you are going, that they've carried the matter to chief. If chief didn't give them answer within some day, they will take it to the CEO of the company. So now the new company now planning to say, okay, I will go. Well, and where I am. So I was now considering what kind of decision someone need to take at this point. I understand this place very well. Where I'm going, I'm still going to go there and start learning. So what is the right action or what decision to be done? What would likely happen? Even okay, let's assume I say, okay, I will stay, I'm not going again. So I don't know all this. I'm at the point of making decision.
Yeah.
But I
Again.
want to collaborate what you say. To pay yourself more, you need to remain in the state of more, right?
Yeah. You need to become more.
So that's what
So
you
I
need to
was about
become more.
saying when you said they don't want to pay you that you should get another job. Because immediately you get another one, if you are valuable, they will match it. And that's exactly what they've done. What you have done now is to say you want to do more. I won't say you should. I would rather, since they are ready to match what you are getting there, take it. After a year or two, look for another opportunity. Look for another opportunity.
Okay.
If you are now looking for another opportunity, say, I'm leaving now. Why? Because I'm getting this. So you give them a breathing space of the one they had increased and then get another opportunity. So my recommendation would be, if they are matching it, after all, this reason you are going, then you don't need to leave. Don't tell them to increase. No. If they are able to increase, that's fine. If they don't, just leave it. Leave for 1 or 2 years. And then if you feel, look, inflation is catching up, I need an increase, and they've not done it, and you make it known, and they've not, look for another opportunity and tell them, so that when you are leaving, look, it's happening again after 2 years. And if they see you as valuable, they will match it again because you make yourself valuable. So my recommendation, I think you should stay since they are matching the initial amount you mentioned.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
It's important that you went to look for, because I was about saying you need to look for. Many organizations does not, until you find a better opportunity, they won't see you as being valuable. That is, that means people are hunting for this guy. I think we should keep him. But if nobody's coming for you, why should they? You are not showing you are valuable to the industry now. Why should they? Now you have shown yourself as valuable to the industry. So I'm not surprised they're trying to match it. And that's what happened. So that's when someone say, I'm on a spot for many years. Look, you can't blame anybody for that. It's your job to find other opportunity if you are valuable the way you claim. If you find an opportunity, if they see you as being valuable, they will. But if they don't see you available, say, when you're around, say, we can't feel it. It's going. What difference does it make? But if they tell you, no, we'll match it, that shows that we're very valuable. And that's a good sign. And you can leverage on that also in future.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Yeah, Victor. Hello, Victor. Are you there? Senator of the Federal Republic. Okay. I think Victor is busy. Thank you very much, everyone. See you next week. Have a great... Victor, are you available now? Because I'm about running up.
Yes, I'm here, sir.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Thank you so much. I think today you have been, will I say, loaded up one day, because I was just... The meeting today was... I've had this before. They were coming out fresh, and I've not even recovered from that one. But for today, I think you spoke about was one of my major takeaway was like the value of your time, when you said, like, if you are called for an engagement, for maybe to speak for 1 hour, and you charge them this amount, and they say they can't pay you, you walk away from that, and it's just value you put on time, and that's abundance mentality, and that attitude of not taking the half bread, as in quotes.
Taking what? Yeah, their bread.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just like the value for your time. So it's quite interesting that it's not every opportunity that comes your way that you just jump into. But I have some other question, but I'll send them to you on chat, sir.
Why don't you want to say that? What's the
No,
issue?
it's not for me. It's for my it's not me that I did. So I wanted to ask
Oh,
for
okay,
you.
okay. You can send it. We can discuss afterwards.
Oh, okay, sir.
All right. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a great week ahead. And bye-bye.
Yeah, bye bye, sir.
All right.